the puzzle of truth works, understanding the baseline simplest of systems, that everything begins with a thought, it goes to a word, whether spoken or unspoken, then goes to an action. Those actions become habits. After those habits are formed, they display the character to the rest of the world, the character who is responsible for the rest of the world. So if you know that baseline, like, because that's the other thing, like a lot of books tell people watch their thought, like the mind is working so fast, that's why I always say thought-filled jewels, because.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts CurtisGMartin, RhondaLBrown, and CaliphJohnsonSr. The one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
Welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems. I'm CurtisGMartin, and I'm here with my co-host, RhondaLBrown.
Hey, everybody.
I'm here with my second co-host, Mr. CaliphJohnsonSr.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
And we got a special guest with us, Mr. Derrace Moore.
What's up, family, kings and queens? Here with some solutions.
Hey, Derrace, welcome to the show, my brother. And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right. What's up, family? Royalty. I'm Derrace Moore. I'm the creator of Presidential Mindedness, which is a mental wealth system in which I created. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and it's basically mental wealth strategies within words. It's just a system to assist what I believe we all have is our unique genius. It's not a prescription to say that this is the one do all. It's a broad system that we all could utilize, and we can implement with our unique zone of genius.
So when you talk about mindset, and you call it mindset wealth, I think you told me. So what is mindset wealth or mindset health?
Mental wealth.
Okay, there it is.
It's mental wealth. It's exactly what the term is. Just your mental well-being. It's exactly what the term is. But like I said, because I don't have the certifications or degrees of a therapist, and the word mental health usually, because the language, like that's another gift that I have. I try to utilize words to help, because in mindset and therapeutic communicate, everything is about communication, and the only way to communicate are with words. So I believe that me describing it as mental wealth, because it's also because it's emotional intelligence aligned with an economic consciousness. Let me tell you that much, because that's what it is. So that's why it's mental wealth. But it's also the fact that I don't want to limit it to mental health, whereas it's a therapeutic session, because I am just like any other individual, and it's about pulling out the unique genius. It's about pulling out the jewels that one individual possess, and it's just a system that we could utilize to assist us, because I believe solely in the individual doing the work. You know what I mean? I believe that too many times, the reason I even created this, when I ran into trying to figure out why it was so hard for me to execute on some things once I got the knowledge, and then I figured out that it was internal. Like, I was looking at the external factors. So with that being said, I also came to understand, like over the past 2.5 years, to see that us as people just have a knack to not want to be told what to do. Even those of us are willing to follow a structure, because it still turns out where, okay, well, he's telling me what, it's like they don't execute on it, because they still have to figure out what it is that has to be done. And even if it's executed, it won't result the mentors of the systems, the individual who created it, it won't mimic that success. So it's only, I want every individual to tell their own story. This is just something to assist with an individual story.
Okay.
If that kind of came together with what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Perfect. Yeah.
So how do you help people get in that mindset?
First off, I believe the want, it begins with the want. So what I do is once they have the commitment to want, it's like anything, it's the questions we ask ourselves. And it's based on the individual, like where you at, what do you want? And it's based on what you desire, because the question of what you desire is truly what it's about. And what you desire has certain demands to be met. So what presidential mindedness does is I want to help you to get proof of all of the truth, that what you can do, right? And it's like a flywheel system, and get in there, get in the proof of the truth, then you'll get started. That's when you get up to the to things like what I call the puzzle of truth, and then what most would identify with as mirror work, then I call the CEO and the founder's interview, because you're seeking CEO status, and then you would go on to presidential mindedness. So it's basically trying to get you in a system of repetition and intensity, like anything, right? And we all know that there's some things we need to unlearn, some things we need to learn. So when, like you said, when you're getting started, it's about what do you desire and what do you truly know? Because it's not about what has been embedded into me. I need the facts of what you know, not the things that have us tricked out of our spots, like I like to say. So that's the gist of where we start at with it.
Okay. So when you first started, what was the starting process for you to get this together, to get it back to the people? Because this isn't like knowledge that you holding for self. This is knowledge that you develop for the people. So what was it like getting started and developing the program?
Oh man, it was hard. I would love to tell you like some beautiful, you know what I'm saying, some beautiful step-by-step structure I could tell you. But the truth of the matter is that I'm genuine with this. Like every word I'm telling you, I'm just the messenger, deliverer. And so the truth of it is, Trash, and not to get off your question, I'm gonna pause it real quick. But the truth, what I saw and what I learned was that the reason people like take it as people tell them, because like what to do, is because it's like when somebody asks you, man, how do I achieve that? It's like we have these structures or these how-tos, but then the success doesn't match the person, because we all individually have the external things going on of illusions and distractions.
Right.
So unless I can be genuinely true for you, because you have to meet the demands of the dream anyway. You have to meet the demands of what you want. Like I would love for this podcast to, at a minimum, be on the level of like the social proofs, the earn your leisures. But I also know that you all have a route that is all yours. And I'm saying that to say that the momentum you have now is like, that's epic. That's epic. Like, that's just the truth of the matter. Let me pause that. Back to what you said, Trash. So it's just I believe that I don't have a structure to tell you how I did it. It's been almost 24 months since I decided to create the curriculum. But it's like this. It's just I learned some stuff from a neuroscientist, from this lady, Dr. Carolyn Leaf, right? She has this neural detox. Now I've been through rehab and drug addiction detox, these things. So I know a detox just really mean like anything, like herb, like cleansing you. So it worked for me, but it had a lot of jargon that most people wouldn't even, not in my community, they wouldn't either pursue it or they wouldn't even continue. You understand what I'm saying? Once you got into the neuroplasticity of it and the neurons and the QEEG machines and the this and that. So that's what motivated me to break this thing down. When I saw it work, and it's like I know where I was. So some would have to know the story. Like I was a former heroin addict. I was an absent father. So the man you see now, you wouldn't have fathomed that.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have fathomed that. This is the first time I'm ever saying that because we got solutions. I told you I'm just the messenger. I've never said that.
Well, it's funny you kind of brought up my question right at the end there. So my question was going to be, who was the program for? Is it for men and women, or is it for a certain age group? Could you explain to me, like, who is it really for?
I started for entrepreneurs and brand builders because a lot of the language of jewel holders in which I created, the language is using what would be known as economic terms along with terms of therapeutic community. So like I said, it was for entrepreneurs and people who want to build brands, which now with the internet, it's for anybody. But I have some kids that I'm mentoring, a high school basketball team who I teach it to, and along with a high school football team who I teach it to. So it's all good.
Okay. I know you said what it meant before, because presidential minded is actually an acronym. What is it?
It stands for, it's the end goal of the system. And it stands for a proficient, responsible execution of structure, independently defining every narrative toward implementing an automated lifestyle with a commitment of the mental investment necessary to design an endless development. And then we would have real life examples of knowledge to incorporate the next generation's survival.
Yeah, you went deep right there, had us all stuck. I was looking around, I was like, shit, we all was like, damn, okay.
Hard. That's hard. That's hard.
Right.
That's hard.
Yeah,
like
no, that's
you
good.
think you word it that way. So my question to you would be like this: when you got the knowledge and you start coming, now how do you give it to the people? What's your process of getting out there? You said you coach it to a basketball team, you coach it to a football team, but how do you get the knowledge out to the people? What's going to be the process? How do you want to do that?
Oh, well, currently I have a manuscript, the book in which I just read said the title of The Language of Jewel Holders.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically the dialogue of words that go along. It's a language, and it goes along with the system of presidential mindedness. So it gives you assists like let me give you an example. Okay, so like what people would know as an acronym. The reason I tell you it's a mental wealth strategy is because it has tools to go with it. But I get it when you just see the acronym, that's what you see. But so if I tell you, or if you tell me, okay, let me see. All right. I believe that we all possess, long as you live on this earth, we'll all experience grief. Like we'll have something to grieve about. We'll get anxious about something. We will feel at dis-ease at some point or another. So, I mean, I guess it's about, we all have problems and we're trying to find a way to get to the problem. So like I was saying with the language, like to have disease, when you understand the language of jewel holders, it's the determination internally, seducing effort and aspiring solutions to evolve. I'm reading it off the board. That's why I was turning, but so, and when you feel guilt, it would be a guide, universally instilling leverage to triumph. So it's not about the acronym because it has things to go with it, but it's about establishing the strategy for when you feel depressed. Depressed is a documented emotion, privileged with results, earning the simple structure and employing direction. That was depressed. So, and I have one for depression and all of that. Like, I'm just saying, like, and I call them labels for success. That's another chapter of the book. So it's just like stuff like that. Because like I just said, the basis of solutions is communication. And if you got a communication tool to instill some stuff in you to tell you about the true you, like the true you and the unique genius in which you possess, I believe, hey, I mean, I understand too that it's not for everybody, so those that it is for, I'm here to offer it. And the language of jewel holders will be, will be ready real soon.
Hey, so when
Like,
somebody come into your program, do everybody start off at the same level, or you have a way of putting somebody, like I know you said is levels to it, right? So do we start all at the same place and work our way up, or work our way through the system, or do you put people higher than others because of you doing some sort of maybe interview process or something?
no, it's everybody is at their level. I don't have a level. You know what I'm saying? I understand the question. I don't have everybody is at their level, starting basically at their same point. Of course, in life, we all have different outcomes. I would love to say, okay, if you do presidential mindedness, you will whatever. What I can tell you is you will find your unique genius. You will be at peace. You will be good, like I said, because I know it's not theory, it's execution. So like you said, Curtis, it's like everybody starts at their spot, and everybody has their own story. But it's that's why I say it's a broad system. So let me give you a little better understanding of it like this. Okay, it has 3 points of presidential mindedness: the core values, the responsibility, and the character. The core values, regardless to whatever else, when you start, are love, truth, and originality. You must every decision based on love, truth, and originality. Am I doing it with love, truth, and all of me? Nothing external. The responsibility is done in honoring of the core values. The responsibility is DIN, the self-starter of not procrastinating. It is to be focused and creative at all times. It is your responsibility to be focused and creative to honor these core values. And honoring the core values of love, truth, and originality, of course, like I said, you can always put yours on there. Some people, perseverance, whatever. So those in itself, when you honor that, you get the character. Our character is the representation we give the rest of the world, which then gets to commit the action. That by honoring the core values, the responsibility honoring the core values, it leads to the character committing the next right action, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Every result started with a reason, and it had a response between it. Everybody's potential has performance, and it has perspective between it. So that's why it's it varies.
Oh, that's good.
So everybody starts at wherever they need to start at. That's where they start at, and wherever they end at is where it is. So you said you have a book coming out. Do you have a course as well? Is this a course?
Yes, I have a course with it as well. That's the course Presidential Mindedness, but it'll also be, the book will be available, the language of jewel holders, along with the information for the system of presidential mindedness. And I will teach the course virtually, as I'm doing now, hands-on.
Is there like a time? Is it like a 6-week course, an 8-week course?
No, it's 9 weeks. It's 9 weeks.
Okay.
It's 9 weeks. That's how the system works. Is 9 weeks. Like, you'll be able to repeat it, start the flywheel and it'll start spinning, but it's 9 weeks.
Wow, this is a ton of information, bro. Like, I was really, really excited when you got it in there in the after dark and you was talking your talk. Like, you have a lot of information. How do you hone it down and to be able to simplify it? Not even simplify it, but to be able to make it translatable. You know what I mean? Like, how did you get it to the point where you took all of this information, you bottled it up, and you put it in a program? Like, what was that process like? Because this is a lot of information, bro. This is not like, no, I woke up yesterday morning, I wrote this on my notepad, and here you go today. This is some information, and you took some time to gather it all. Like, what was that process like?
Really? And when I say I can't describe it, it's in a sense of it was rewarding, if that's a word, like, because I've learned to, like, I reward the process so much, bro, because the end goal is just like, so to me, it's just like, I'm just rewarding every time, because the end goal gets to like what's next. And I find people, I've seen people and learn from people, like when they get the goal, then it's something else, like they stuck, or it's not even fulfilling. But the process that I've come through, like I told you all, I've overcome, is like so fulfilling. It's not describable, and it's due to the things I learned in the courses in which we invested in ourselves, and just documenting the process. And I say, okay, this worked. So as far as the things that work for me, breaking the words down, I just use words that were common to us. And I was able to so we're always talking about the trap. So it's obvious, even easier for you to equate the trap with something that if I tell you these are techniques resisting the alignment of progress. These are techniques resisting the alignment of progress. If I tell you that's the trap, and that's the definition, that's kind of simple. If I tell you you're the plug, and you provide and leverage your unique genius, you know the plug is what put on. If I tell you we in the drip house to design a resilience and intellectual perspective, but don't trip, because we're going to honor the omnipresence of unique solutions and expertise, because that means that we all have something to offer. Just like the After Dark, that's a drip house. The drip house is like the metaverse. It's everywhere. Like it's everywhere they got solutions. You know what I'm saying? And it's jewel holders. That's the joint empowerment of winners, evolving to leverage.
It's deep.
It is deep. So how is it going? You said you're teaching it to a basketball team and a football team. How is that process going, and what do you see the students getting out of it?
Man, it's awesome. I think the basketball team gonna win state. I ain't gonna take I think they like put it like this. They document it all. So them documenting it, like you shouldn't make the same turnover. You shouldn't commit the same. Like it's everybody walking their path. You know what I mean? But it's documented. So with them, the football team now is the best time, because it's their off season, their spring. So it's weight room and their classroom time. So it's good. The basketball is in season. It's about to be playoffs. They like 22-5, but they got a good shot. And they had been struggling, like the proof is in the pudding. I'm just the messenger. So like I said, them documenting it, and like everybody big on testimonials and proof. And like I said, I'm not the one. That's why I was saying the other night in class about I want the jewel holder to be the representation of the system, not so much me, because when people see people, like I'm normal, I might flash tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm soothing enough to where I could apologize, admit my wrong. But don't place your standards on people. We've all did it. You know what I mean? We've all done that. Like, and it's not like anything I say or I speak, I'm learning and trying to teach it as well. Like I felt like I have a responsibility. Man, there's another motivator I have, that people usually say, oh, when you're 35 or you're over 40, it's over. Everything's embedded in you. So I'm the proof. I'm the proof. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just on the ride. I'm with the We Got Problems teams. I'm here to offer solutions, change the world.
There we go.
Just do our part.
Yes, sir.
So is that like a volunteer thing, what you do with the students?
Yeah, right now, because like I said, I'm documenting the process. Like I'm giving value. I'm taking all the theory away from it. I wanna be able to, like I said, it's
schools.
Ma'am.
You trying to get it into schools as an actual
eventually program? Yeah, like you know how they got the social and emotional learning curriculums and stuff, and so I'm trying to eventually, like after we get the hard book or see how to go about it and get it into the schools, because it's a 9-week system, and usually courses are 9 weeks. But I learned that too. That's why they do it, because 9 weeks is the 63 number that you need. 63 times of repetition. 63, like we've all heard the 21-day thing. That's why the system works. Whereas with the it's broken down. The 3 ways, yeah, before you go to the 21, 21, and 21, the 63 days. That's what I was trying to say. It's the 63 days will be 21, 21, 21, how we work it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
go ahead.
no,
Kurt.
no, go ahead. My bad. Go.
Okay, you were very open with just expressing yourself about who you are and where you've come from. You know what I mean? Your tribulations. Everybody has their own story, but talk to us a little bit about your story. You know what I mean? Let us know a little bit more about your story and how you got to this point, because to be at this point right now is truly just an honor to see your growth and development. But talk a little bit about the process where you came from to where you at now.
All right, yeah, man. I'm a father of 4. All right, let's do this. I got on heroin at about age 18, fresh out of high school. And in New Orleans, you know, in y'all culture, it's more gang unity. New Orleans is more independent. You know what I'm saying? Until they've gotten older and not want to follow y'all and don't know what they're doing. But at about 18, I got on heroin. I went off to college for like a semester, a year, maybe. That didn't work, but that went on for 12 to 15 years. So I was 33. How I got clean, I went to jail. I got incarcerated. So I had to go do some time. I ended up going to do my time. You know, I got out in 2.5. I had a 7-year sentence, you know, got out in 2.5. Now the whole time, mind you, I come from good seed. Like I got both of my parents my whole life. My mother was an educator. She just retired. My father's an entrepreneur. So he retired, but it's like I come from that. I never wanted for nothing. We from the hood. I mean, we never, like I said, my mom a teacher, so it's not like she had everything. But you know what I'm saying? We didn't want for nothing. My gift come from my mom was always the parent that corrects you. It's not I ain't got. I ain't got. So my speech come from that. Back to the story. So about 33, I get locked up. All right, so I gotta rewind a little bit for you. In the midst of my addiction, I have my son. My oldest son. I have my son, you know, to survive, because like I said, I come from good seed. My mom and I gonna have that other foolishness in our house, especially as a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So it's me trying to fend for myself. So what come with that is the same old story. I'm doing whatever to survive, hustling, whatever. So
how old were you when you had your son?
Oh, I'm 20, 16, 23.
Okay.
23.
About 5
so,
years.
Okay,
Sure.
I have my son. We end up in a situation, we homeless, but we get up out of that, get our spot, things looking up, spot get kicked in, get raided. I catch some time, but I keep saying to stopping because I bonded out. I fought the case. That's why I had to rewind. I bind out, fought the case, prolonged the case. In the midst of that, my wife and I split up, have problems. Me being arrogant because, mind you, when I catch the case, I get clean.
Mm-hmm.
So now in my mind, I get clean. I'm you know what I'm saying? And I got a couple of dollars. I'm doing my thing. I get clean.
Mm-hmm.
I start another relationship. When I start another relationship, my wife not going for it, so she dipped. I end up having a daughter. Oh, that's not. I ain't even getting started. You asked for it. So look, I have a daughter. I have my daughter. When I have my daughter, mind you, the case hanging over my head. I have a second child with the second one, a second daughter. Now I have 2 daughters. Remember, I still have my son.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all during the case.
I'm free.
Yeah, while you fighting the
But
case.
yeah. So now, but I'm doing little stuff too. This is how I'm staying free. Like get the program, outpatient programs, this and that, right? And like we spending a couple of dollars. So that's what it was. So I have my second daughter. The woman I have my second daughter with, she got to go away because that's how we living. She catch time. Now it's me and two little girls. I got to do something. So now me and the loving wife I have, she first is there starting to help me with the girls. Of course, that's all the person I know. I'm going where I know. You know what I'm saying? Doing the thing I think I know. My wife and her pregnant. Second son.
So wait. So you fighting this case. You got a son. Went over here, two girls. She go on vacation. The hood vacation. And then now you dip back to get some help from the wife you know, and now you got another son over there. Okay, I'm with you.
So now, of course, now when the girl's mother comes home, she's furious in her feelings, rightfully so, because I'm manipulating the situation, you know. But this is what happened. Sorry about before that. Before that, I get jammed up, I get violated.
So who taking care of your girl?
Daughter. Now my daughters go to my mother. I told you I'm blessed. I got a dream team behind me along with y'all, but so my mom got the girls. Oh, and the other part was my son never left me. So it's me and these kids. That's how I kept it cool with my wife. You know what I'm saying? I got my son, and I don't know, for whatever. So now I have 4 children. Oh yeah, I went away. I had to go away. I ended up getting out in 2.5, but I didn't left the babies. But you know, in between time, the girl's mother comes home. So she got them now.
Mm-hmm.
And like the concierge was saying last week, of course, these things are bitter at this time. She is scorned.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to go through the system.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, the system with, oh, you can't see them. You know what I mean? Thank God we through all of that. Everything much better. We're a well-blended family. Like I would have never saw it like that, but I know it came with me getting myself together. Because I have to accept the responsibility that I played in all of it. In all of it. You know what I mean? So that's the gist of it. You're probably gonna need a little more time, but we 4 kids. Then, and like I said, so I get clean, I come home, and this is when I first realized it's me. Now I'm gambling heavy. So going through the gambling addiction, right before the grandemic, a few months before the grandemic, things were slowing down. Things were opening up for me. Then the grandemic happened. Everybody gets sat down. When the grandemic happened, I sit still and something just hit me like, I'm the only common denominator in every last problem I've had. Me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else. Me, like I told you, I'm a gambler. So now I make up my mind, I'm betting on me. That's why I tell you it was the grandemic. It wasn't a pandemic for me, it was a grandemic. Like it pulled out something, an epic situation. And like, it was a few months before that, but it all led up to that so beautifully. To really being able to sit still. That's why I know the effectiveness of sitting still. It'll prove to you how chaotic your mind is. Like, or if your mind is roaming, like it's just evident. Like, if you can deal with the truth, it's nothing like that can stop you. Like when I was able to sit still and observe during the pandemic what was going on, and I say, okay, well, that means then, if that's the proof, that means that I can fix me. I can deal with me. But I don't like harming people. I don't want to hurt others for myself. You know what I'm saying? Me to feel good. Now I'm responsible for a world. And remember I told you about questions? Dude asked me, he said, D, this is how I want you to think about it. He said, would you want your daughters to marry the man you are? I said, hell no. He said, you got to shake it. That was it. That was it. So now, like I say, my girls be, you know, it's and sometimes that's why, like, I guess seeds have been planted, so things are revealed. Even when I was going through the outpatient, I had to go through therapy, like part of the staying free on the charge. So I had stuff revealed to me, had to go to 12 steps. So I was learning some stuff then. But it's like it all made sense once I was able to sit still. I was able to sit still and just listen.
So that's the part that's where the concept presidential mindedness came from, when you finally sat still.
That's it, right, for the pandemic.
That's cool. So what you looking? You said it's finna be ready. So is the book ready now?
Yes, it's gonna come out in series, so it's ready. It just has to go to be printed and edited. You know, the structural stuff. So it'll be ready in the next. I could commit to the next 30 days.
Okay. Yeah, and so once the book hit, so that's the butterfly bully you working with.
That's the only one I would ever work with.
No, that's all good. That's all good. So hey, we got to get to where we start plugging that, right? But that was a good plug. Good segue. The butterfly bully do all things books to get you self-published, right? So
that's it.
But so now that you have this presidential mindedness, are you giving it to your kids?
Oh, definitely. That was my first little hamsters running the rail. Yes, sir.
So how is that working out?
It's you know, my teenagers, you know how kids are. They like, I gotta sneak it on them, Kurt. I mean, yeah, like I gotta ease it on them. Like the way I do it is things like my son, like he wants the PS5, so he may have to be able to tell me what's an NFT, what's the hottest gamers getting paid, because he like the games. You know what I'm saying? He might have to, and he plays football. So if he won't play football, he got to work out. You know what I mean? He got to be his best self. To whereas and for my daughters, now with them, it's a little easier because you know that's daddy girls, and they time. It's still that time because they're not with me 24/7. So it's still whatever right now. And my youngest, my 5-year-old, he the man, Kurt. He the man.
No, that's good.
You know, he don't have a choice in the matter.
So with your past, do you have like family members or people that knew you know, when you were in your addiction, and now do they like think twice about what you do? Like, do they not take you seriously? Like, how is that?
Nah, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's like I say, I got the best support system, and then for as like with my partners and stuff, it was like I was always the guy who, you know, in the hood they say you got the gift of gab, but my partners call it the fabulous dramatics. I'm gonna get us out of whatever we into, so it makes sense to them. And then when I like I've really been kind of I don't call it isolated, but isolated from, like, I've been real secure about my energy, about the people, so a lot of my world know it's all the way real. So it's like, but like I said, it was always something expected of me. When we played park ball, I was the point guard, I was the quarterback. When it was time to go, you know, so to lead I
Born
think
leader.
I hate, you know, I hate that.
You're a born leader,
I-
bro. It happens. Some of us have that, some of us don't. You're a born leader.
And it's like I'm cross dominant. Like I throw the ball left-handed. I cannot throw right-handed, but I write and play basketball right-handed. So I'm cross dominant. And I learned it when I was young and I was able to use it. So I was on all like the AAU teams but I never really worked on my craft. I was the one that it came to me easy. So I thought life was gonna be easy. So I had to go through what I went through. You know, so
Okay, so like at this point, like I just kind of want to know what's the if you had like a genie and you could make a magic wish, how would you see the company going, and what would the ultimate game plan be for it, and what do you see in the next 5 years?
oh man, that is a lovely question. I couldn't wait to tell somebody this. I got a vision that exactly what I'm learning from you all, like to bring together a group of people that all have this unique gift and that are all willing to thrive in their lane as a collective. We are all a collective, but it's like that's what the Drip House is about. That's why I say you all already have that. So I pay attention. I want to build something to what you all are building, where a platform where people can, where y'all can give, where we can give solutions. My goal is to basically now just kind of mimic with the same system. What I'm telling you, just because that's the only way I could describe it, is unique individuals, like all honoring each other. Like it's no, like I don't get the envy, the gossip, like because it's something that each of us can do that no one can do. And that thought alone should say, I have no reason to be, because if I can harness that thing, like I get it though, because people can't harness that thing. When you can harness that thing, it's not about what nobody, anything else that comes your way is a gift, a resource to you to go along with your thing.
A blessing.
You know what I mean? Like we're pieces to the puzzle. Like in the puzzle, like on a 1,000-piece puzzle, the piece that's in the right upper hand is not going to ever touch the piece in the lower corner, but neither can be missing for the puzzle to be complete.
Hey, you jumped into something right there, because when you first started, you said something to the effect of you called it puzzle something, puzzle wealth, puzzle
The puzzle
truth.
of truth.
Puzzle
The puzzle
of truth.
of truth.
Yeah. So you just talked about those two pieces. Give us a little more about that puzzle of truth.
Well, the way the puzzle of truth works is you would for 21 days, well, you would do it every day of the thing, but the first is the puzzle of truth works like this. Any thought, curiosity, response, anything that comes across your head to be a powerful idea, you document it. But you document it in one word, the way you see it. You document it. And of course, words will repeat. We'll put the puzzle of truth together to see what dominant words you had in the 21-day increments. And then you're able to do it, because you got to do all this before you can go in front of that mirror. Because like Trash say, they'll go in front of the mirror and not keep it real. And so you got to do, that's why the puzzle of truth comes in first, because when you can see, hey, I've been thinking about this, and the puzzle of truth works understanding the baseline simplest of systems, that everything begins with a thought, it goes to a word, whether spoken or unspoken, then goes to an action. Those actions become habits. After those habits are formed, they display the character to the rest of the world, the character who is responsible for the rest of the world. So if you know that baseline, like, because that's the other thing, like a lot of books tell people watch their thought, like the mind is working so fast, that's why I always say thought filled jewels, because if you understand your mind is working thought filled jewels, you'll speak, you can think, the thought, sometimes you don't have to respond. It's better to be quiet. You know you're thinking something so bad, I don't care how long you got to hold it. Don't respond if it's going to cost you. You know what I'm saying? So the puzzle of truth, Kurt, to make sense, is just understanding that baseline system, being able to place your words for over a week period. You could check it 7 days. You could check it daily. You'll wonder why. And then you'll pay attention to, okay, I'm thinking that every time my uncle is here. I'm thinking that every time I've gone out to the gym. You know, now then you can put things, reverse engineer them, like you was teaching me, and then you can go back and put your puzzle of truth together over time. So that's how the puzzle of truth, it goes with the system. And a lot of the words are in the language of jewel holders. So if you have any of those, they'll help you too. So like, that's how the puzzle of truth, and you'll put your puzzle together and that'll be your puzzle of truth. Like, emotional intelligence is basically about being able to name your emotions, the signals, and being able to adapt to environments or goals. So nobody can put a name on what you feel. I don't care if they call it anxiety. If it's something that feel like fire, say fire. You know what it is. Then it may, come up every time. I'm just saying. So I think that if we can learn to just articulate what's happening with us, because we focus so much on the external, then the puzzle of truth will come together. Like the external will be good, everything. Be willing to go through that process of, maybe not looking your best for a year or two. Because I know I was wilding for about the last year or two. But it was about, I was feeling so good inside. I didn't care how I get on the internet.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying? I was shaking back. Like, they can't, so like I say, I just want to offer help where I can. And like the system is something of beauty.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, so we got some kind of rapid fire questions. If you could only pick one book to recommend to somebody, what would it be?
Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess, Dr. Carolyn Leaf, where I learned the neurocycle at. She wrote a book called Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess. And that book helped me. A lot of people, well, I'm gonna stick to the one book. I was about to say another one. That's it. That's the one I would recommend.
Okay. If you had an opportunity to talk to the younger version of you, what would be the jewels you would give to yourself as a young person?
Today, it would be not be so hard on myself. Not be so hard on myself.
No, that's good.
That's not, yep. Not be so hard on myself. And I guess I just mean to give myself permission to be who I was, because I was doing so much trying to fit in, and I was already unique. You know what I mean? I was doing so much trying to fit in. Like, that's just the truth of it.
All right. If you had one person that you can sit down with and have a meeting, if dead or alive, who would that be, and what would y'all talk about?
My brother.
Your brother?
My youngest brother.
And why?
Because he sacrificed a lot, me isolating. It was me and my brother grew up in a house, me and my younger brother. And he's a principal today. And of all the people who probably deserve the best me, it's him. And I think I take for granted, like, making sure he all right. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like he good, or you know what I mean? And he human, but that's my brother. He alive, and it'll be about our brothers, our brotherhood, and about doing it the right way, the way we was raised to do.
All right, I'm gonna interrupt. Your brother he's still alive?
Yeah, my younger brother.
So what's stopping that conversation?
Me.
Ego.
Hey, we remember we said we wasn't gonna do that ego thing. Hey, but get in your presidential mindness, yeah, and let's fix that, man. That's good. While you're still here,
that conversation.
Yeah.
We need that conversation. That's the growth. Okay. It's on you, Rhonda. My bad. I apologize.
No, that was good because I was thinking the same thing, bro. So
Man.
that was good, and not throwing you off, not trying to put you on the spot, but that's something. Even I think I have one to
We
get
are talking
into,
to ourselves. I'm
make
talking
that call. Yeah. So
I need to call.
it's good for all us to make it happen, right?
That's a big one right there, bro. Thank you.
What,
Thank y'all.
what's the most important lesson you've learned in your career or doing the presidential mindedness?
The most important thing I learned, I believe, is that all the suffering I went through was proof of that I can persevere through probably anything. It's nothing I don't believe. I don't know anybody else's story, but a heroin addiction, dope sick, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Especially when they're trying to quit or get themselves together. And I had those battles countless times. But the suffering is proof that I can do anything given the time.
Okay. Now, if you had a chance to sit down with the elders, what would be the message that you would have, or the questions that you would have to the elders to bridge the gap between the elders and the youth right now? What would your question be?
Just to ask them, what is it that they believe or see that is so different than when they were that age? Because everything is basically a cycle. It may look different technology wise. It may look different HD 1080 740, but a lot of like my uncles and people, it was just a barroom. It may have been more unity, but that's to each his own. But it was still the same. I would just ask them what in there, because they know what's the true difference. What's the difference in what they perceive in the youngsters and the people who perceive them? What would be the difference?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. All right, and the last one on the list. What's your favorite stock or cryptocurrency that you would recommend, or something that you're watching or investing in?
Yeah, I'm big on Disney, Kurt. I'm big with Disney because my babies, and I believe understanding the longevity of Disney, and with technology, Disney is already in place they already license their characters. They do these things like, with the pandemic, the parks was, a major part they closed down, but like with the way the metaverse and the way that technology is changing, the Disney is already in place. They don't have to create their NFTs. I just believe that I'm probably bullish on them because to me they go with time. It seems like they evolve with time. I know Apple may be the simple thing, but I believe that there are people studying what Apple is doing who is going to surpass them.
Hey, I actually really like that, man. You got my mind rolling right now with the NFTs. You're right. They have all the NFTs. They can go take Mickey Mouse and sell him all type of looks. Like Donald Duck. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Man, that's huge, right? So they're going to hit the market running. Hey, so we're coming to the end of the show, so we're gonna push it over to you, Mr. Caliph Johnson, the trash vegan. What closing remarks you have for the people?
Bro, I want to thank you for taking your time and coming out and blessing us with this, bro. This is you have an amazing program over there. I want you to keep doing what you're doing. If we could do anything to help promote, bring it up, or get some attention to it, just got my line, hit my line. Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate you, trash. So we're going to take it over to you, Miss Rhonda.
I want to thank you as well. Like, it was like you had us stuck a couple of times there, but I really want everybody to like look in the mirror, look to self, get in there. Even if they don't get in the program, they still need to get into them.
All right, cool. Mr. Derrace, go ahead and lead the people with some closing remarks, my brother.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Go ahead and leave the people with some closing remarks. Anything in closing you want to say to the people?
Yeah, just for everybody to just make sure that trust yourself and just look in the mirror, give yourself that interview, understand that the reflection is the founder, you're the CEO, trust the founder, ask the questions, leave out of that mirror, and you hit the world CEO status, and be your unique self and offer your genius, and always be willing to learn. The 3-letter word to success is ASK.
Hey, that's right. Hey, bro, where can people find you at? Make sure you leave a way to
right now on IG at Presidential Minded Kings, at Derrace Moore, or on Facebook. And that's where you'll be able to get updated for the web page, for the book launch and everything. So just get on the ride and enjoy the ride.
Hey, appreciate it. Hey, you guys, in one of our rapid fire questions, I'm gonna close with we all talked about if somebody that you can talk to, dead or alive, and he mentioned his brother. Like all of us have that one somebody. Hey, you guys, get in your phone book, call that one somebody you haven't talked to, and go ahead and give them a message. Go ahead and apologize. It'll help heal yourself, right? And that's what I'm gonna leave you guys. We got problems and we got solutions, and we out.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at CurtisMartin247, at Rhonda Writes Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.